All right, so my name is Mike Colleen, and I made a few discoveries, and probably a key word that you're going to hear a lot from me is understandings between men and women. There are some key, and I usually use the word three because there's three core pieces that once men understand these, suddenly it makes either single guys, makes it a lot easier to meet women, to pick up on women. And the original design of the course was to help married men save their relationships. So I'm going to start with the core of why this helps men and women to understand each other, okay? There's three main keys going on that I will go in depth in my course. Number one, men and women literally communicate differently. Now, I know right now a lot of women are laughing or going, yeah, that's what we've been saying. But over the years, I found out women don't understand why men don't understand their language. Now, guys, I want to tell you this. Here's what's going on. There is two completely different sub-languages. There's the left brain logical male language, which men use all the time. And women kind of don't understand why men use the left brain language, which is the business language, to get the job done language, when you're in a social situation, which is the right brain, emotional, social brain, the creative brain, okay? And my answer to women right off the bat before I really go into this is that men, for the most part, are stuck in their left brain. It would take men to meditate, or prayer can do it. It's a form of meditation, or choir used to do it for me, but it took about 15 minutes. Whereas women are left and right brain. Women can ping pong back and forth, can be logical, and then emotional, and then logical, then creative. They can go back and forth because women actually have more nerves in what's called the corpus callosum. So it's like a superhighway for women. But here's the thing, guys. I can teach you how to access your right brain really, really fast. Now, it's going to take practice, but over time, it gets really easy. All right? So here's what's going on. When a woman says A out of her right brain, and women don't always use the right brain. I'm not implying that by any means at all. Is a man will take that. The right brain is like the Apple computer, okay? It's big picture, it's graphics. The right brain is very much into colors and detail, the five senses, okay? It's very creative. And the left brain is very much like an IBM computer. It's very linear, like literally it's narrow. It can do one, two, or three things really fast. But do you remember the old computers like you actually are? Remember the old IBM computers? If you did 4, 5, 6 things, they'd crash. Remember that? Yeah, well, that's very similar, and a lot of women are probably laughing right now, but what happens is a woman says A, and she means this, but a man will pull it over, and then he'll process it through his, I'm going to call it the IBM type or linear processor in his brain, the logical left male brain, and he's literally changing the meaning to what she's saying, but he doesn't know he's doing this. A cute little story I like to use is, have you ever, okay, I'll do it this way. I will sit there in a grocery store standing in line, or I'll be at a party or wherever, and I will see a couple talking. And in the back of my mind, I'm going, yeah, they both think they understand each other, but she's saying A and he's hearing B, but she doesn't know that yet. And tomorrow when they get to this function that they're talking about, she's going to get really pissed off. And he's going to be like, what are you mad about? So a lot of couples will argue and fight after the fact, thinking when they first talked about it, they understood each other, but they didn't, okay? So the basis of my course is teaching men how to open up to the right brain and learn what's called the internal language. Now, guys, here's why this is so important. The internal language does a couple things. It gives women mental stimulation and emotional fulfillment. That is absolutely key, and here's why. Now, okay, I'll just say it right now. Women, every woman I just heard that says, yeah, I understand that. Guys, you don't understand that. Unless you're literally 1 in a million, there's something that is so different. That I'm saying this, but you're actually hearing this, okay? So when you understand what mental stimulation is to a woman and emotional fulfillment, all of a sudden you don't have to pay for dinner to get sex. All of a sudden you don't have to pay for a car, diamond ring, and all this stuff. Because women receive what's called emotional fulfillment or love through a certain form of right brain communication, which is done through the ear. Now, let me get into, okay, so basically is this. We communicate 2 different languages. That's number one. So this course is for clarity, it's for understanding, it's for pleasure, it's for intimacy, it's for romance. It's also used for sales. In order to sell to a woman, you have to sell to her in what's called the internal language. She can understand you better, and it also is something she relates to better. Because the right brain for women is their home. They're born using it. Whereas men, we're born naturally using our left brain, and we have to work to use our right brain, but our society doesn't require that. Okay, whereas women, they are required to use their left brain. By the time the average girl is 18 years old, she has developed her left brain almost to the point of probably the average man. Maybe not quite, but women are much more balanced, okay? Here's why, okay, before I go on to the second piece and third piece, here's why that is so important, the balance part between left and right brain. We are now, and have been for quite a while, moving into a world that is now right brain functioning, and this is why women are charging forward when it comes to the business world, when it comes to college education, when it comes to succeeding in the world and getting more of what they want. Women are charging forward, and men are starting to fall behind. I'm telling you right now, if you don't learn the internal language, if you don't learn how to operate successfully from your right brain, you will fall behind. And that's why men are falling behind, because the left brain is the push energy, it's the force, it's about muscle, it's about power, it's the old way. Right now we have tractors and cars and diesel trucks, and we have computers. We have all this. We are not only in the digital age, we are going past the digital age. It has become, which is allowed us to be more creative, which is the right brain. Now, a lot of guys will say, oh, I'm very creative, when actually I'll watch them. They're being what's called left brain creativity, which is in the box. You need to be able to snap out of that. That is what's going to give you power. And the great thing about this course is I'm going to teach you a form of power that is 10 times more powerful than muscle or force. And it's something that your wife or your girlfriend, or that if you're single, that girl wants you to learn how to do. This is a massive turn on for women, especially if you're married. If you're married, your wife will not only be proud of you, it'll make her feel loved. It'll make her feel safe, because now she has a husband who understands social power. The course is going to give you social influence and social power. It'll help you in life, business, and your relationships, and especially in sales.